And we're live.
Yes, let's go.
And Patrick's back with us.
Thanks for covering a pretty disappointing game that I missed out on.
Yeah. It was quite the game, and definitely a lot of drama leading up to it. So got a lot to
Seriously.
talk about today. So yeah.
Yeah, Austin. I mean, definitely a lot, from, this being the last game, right, in that qualifying window. Winless, unbeaten, I guess you could say, right? But we're really seeking that win in San Pedro Sula there against Honduras. That would be a huge kind of rebound here, send us off on a positive note. Yeah, I'm excited. Nervous, but excited. How about you?
You're still excited, Pat. I envy you because I don't know. I guess I'm not nervous. I'm just kind of, I don't know, anxious. Maybe anxious is the right word. I'm not excited because I'm not extremely happy
It's
right now.
fair.
But
It's fair.
no, I don't know. It's just been such a crap show the past week or so. We came into this camp, on such a high, winning 2 trophies over the summer, absolutely, bossing Mexico, becoming the kings of CONCACAF, and now it feels like a dream. So, yeah, I don't know. We got things to fix, and that's kind of what we'll talk about a little bit today. But yeah, we got a game tonight, so another opportunity.
Yeah, it's fun to do a kind of a pre-game show before, So
We're not as good looking or nearly as clever as Clint Dempsey. And
yeah, right.
yes,
We're trying. And the shoe game, the shoe game's on point.
yeah, I'm wearing flip flops right now, guys. So
I got some Puma socks on,
There you
go. But yeah, Austin, I guess to kind of dive in here and really talk about maybe what are some of the keys to success, right? In this preview, right? So obviously we want to hear from the fans, we want to hear from you all, right? But just a lot to digest from the first 2 games. And really, how do we look forward, right? How do we look ahead? What are the keys to success? So there's quite a few points that, we wanted to, get out here. But really just wanted to, again, get your guys' thoughts as well. But Austin, really, I wanted to start off and talk about kind of the cohesiveness, right? I think that's something that's really crucial. Playing together as a team, the movement needs to be, much stronger, right? Much more cohesive, pressing together, attacking together, and overall just having that sense of togetherness. Whether it's the wing backs coming up to support the attack, knowing when to drop back, especially as Honduras counters and plays those long balls. That's something that they specialize in, as well as those important positions in the midfield, being able to create the chances there, the attack all in sync, making those runs and movements. Not just doing one and sitting back, right, Austin? But then, thinking 2-3 moves ahead, hey, that wing back, say Anthony's in the left, is making a run, I'm going to do this and that, to be really aware on the field and the presence here in the game, because we need to come out fast, hard, and early to silence that crowd.
Yeah, and Honduras is missing some of its key guys too, right? Like Alberto Elise is not going to be in this game, so that's a big option that they're going to miss, and a big dynamic player that we're not going to have to defend. So yeah, that definitely helps us out. But again, we can't come out timid, like we did against El Salvador in a hostile environment. Again, I thought, like I said last time, we came out well against Canada, right? We played at a good tempo. We defended well together as a team. We just really lacked that grit in the final third, which isn't new for us. That's always been the constant. So yeah, I'm excited to see, Pat, because again, when you look back over the Greg Berhalter era, we haven't played too many games away from home. We really haven't traveled outside the U.S. for a lot of games. And if we do, it's to Europe. It's never to, a truly hostile environment. So
right.
Yeah, this is like all these away games and World Cup qualifying are really just new tests for these guys. So I'm really curious to see how we respond tonight, especially with all the, turmoil that's going on. And yeah, we need to start hot.
Yeah, we really do, Austin. And it comes down to, right, having that CONCACAF grit. I'd say that CONCACAF mentality. We have targets in our backs, right? The YAAs, the Young Americans Abroad. Everyone sees, Serginho Dest, Barcelona, Aronson Reina, this and that, Pulisic, right? Captain America. They want to be those supervillains, right? cause havoc, wreak havoc. And I'm sure, especially, Honduras at home there, is hyped up. They hear all this talk about how great we are, some of the troubles we've been having. And if I were a team, like that, that is kind of still underrated, odds stacked against them even at home, I would be pumped for this opportunity. So we need to come out with that strong mentality. Pulisic said it, and they will keep the heads up. Hopefully the locker room spirit's high, right, with everything going on, which we can get into. But also, I think that's so key, that mentality here.
Yeah. And I'm curious to hear, from you guys too. What do you think the key to tonight will be? Again, for me, I think it's really just trying to stay above water with all the stuff that's going on. Again, the new environment, new experience, and just putting that all behind us and really coming out strong. So, curious to hear you guys, what you have to say in the comments about tonight's game. And I think the starting lineup should be announced soon, Pat. So, when they come out, we'll kind of pivot and talk a little bit about that. But definitely. I guess, do we want to talk now about some of these, some of the things that's going on, right? Do we want to talk about Weston McKennie?
Yeah. I think we have to talk about it, right? It's pretty big news there. Obviously Weston, sent to Italy, I should say, right, back to Turin, for breaking 2 violations, right, for the COVID protocols that the team had in place. So, that's definitely of a concern, right? Again, there's a lot, down the Twitter rumor mill and things like that, just trying to tune all that out, right? It's just ridiculous. Some of those accounts and bots, who knows what people are trying to, spew out there. But at the same time, right, it really comes down to accountability. He's a leader on the team, right? In that trio with Adams and Pulisic, and he should know better, right? He clearly did it twice. It's terribly unfortunate. He's a young player, right? Makes mistakes, but at the same time, it's a limited window, the most important time in the U.S. kind of era to change this perception, right, of the program, and that comes out, and it's all over the news right now.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time he's done it, right? Like at Juventus, when I believe was when he tested positive for COVID. Maybe it was during one of their
party, right?
Yeah, he hosted a party with Paulo Dybala and Arthur from Juve, and got in trouble at that point. I think got suspended for a game, maybe got a financial penalty. So this is not his first instance of this type of behavior. And again, I think it's tough, right? Because it's something that seems so, it seems like it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, right? You can kind of wish it away or make an excuse for it since he's so young. But he's a leader on this team, right? And he wants to be one of those players who's held in a high regard on and off the field. He does a lot of philanthropy on the side, and just, he's one of those players who likes to be out there in the public eye. And with that comes responsibility, and that's something he's going to have to learn. And I don't have any problem with him getting kicked out of this camp, to be completely honest, Pat. And I just think it's really disappointing, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely could have utilized him, right? Especially,
he could have made such a difference last game. Like all those set pieces we had, he's the constant person who's always winning headers for us and always scoring headed goals off set pieces. Right. in the game against Mexico in the Nations League, he scored a goal and also created a goal off a header on a set piece. So who knows what would have happened against Canada, but the fact that he wasn't even there to help us in that game is just, it's not good. It's really bad luck.
Yeah. And again, who knows what was said. I know, or reportedly he did apologize to his teammates and things like that. And Berhalter, mentioned some stuff. He cares deeply, right, about Weston, and it's an open door policy right back. So I think he just has to prove himself, keep his head out of trouble, head down, focus on his club situation, right, and getting minutes there, but definitely not a good look. It couldn't come at, a worse time, honestly. And again, just so much disappointment, to his teammates there. But, I think, again, maybe me being the optimist in the long run, I think he'll be back for the next qualifying window just because of how important he is. And I really do think, he's a good person deep down that, just needs to, get some of this, stuff out of the way.
Really? Because I was going to say I don't think he'll be back for the next qualifying.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So
Maybe you
I
should.
don't know. I just have this weird feeling in my stomach that, like, and I don't know. Maybe this isn't the only reason why I feel this way, but like Greg Berhalter's trying to lay his foot down on this, right, and like really
Sure.
show that he's the true leader of this team as the manager. And I don't know. I just think if we don't get a good result tonight, I think he may try and use that as leverage to say, "Oh, look, I have the locker room." Because there's definitely some questions now,
Yeah,
Pat.
that's a
Right?
good
We've
point.
seen some bad body language in the last game. John Brooks was getting upset on the sidelines with what Greg Berhalter was
Oh
telling
yeah,
him.
yeah,
We've not had a great run of games and attack with Greg Berhalter as manager. We just have not. We haven't scored many goals. The goals we've scored have come against lesser opponents and lesser competition. So yeah, I definitely think he's in the hot seat right now, and it's justifiable, right? Like we can't screw up this World Cup qualifying round again. And if we learned anything from last time, it's in my opinion, obviously we acted swiftly in firing Jurgen Klinsmann, but I don't think Jurgen should have even taken, those first two games in World Cup qualifying, to be completely honest. So, if we're trying to learn from that mistake, maybe, making a change earlier rather than later is the better way to go. But
yeah.
I guess we'll
That's
have
a
to
good
wait and
point.
see.
I was going to bring up Jurgen Klinsmann, honestly, Austin, and I guess you could say with Greg, right? Oh, the two finals won. That's again something he might utilize as well.
Yeah, true.
But it's just concerning. I mean, we really need to go out there and make a statement. And I guess the more I started off optimistic, the more I'm also concerned too, because some of those issues we're having, creating chances, goal scoring chances, and what being shut out by El Salvador, one against Canada. That's not good enough in World Cup qualifying, and just the lack of service and chances. You could knock Sargent, the rest of them, all you want. You put any great forward up there, and he's not getting any service at all. There's no line breaking passes. The movement is poor. It's just chaotic, honestly, in the midfield and kind of that build up play. And even when teams, Canada was happy. They said, "Here, take the ball. We'll sit back. We'll counter on your errors," and look what they did. They punished us and played their game plan perfectly. So, that's definitely an issue there.
Yeah, and it's funny too because we saw better attacking play against Canada than El Salvador. Again, this is in my opinion. And honestly, most of the teams we're going to play against are going to be like El Salvador, sitting back, 10 men behind the ball, 11 men behind the ball, and we're going to have to sit there and break them down. And we struggle with that, right? We've always struggled with that as a team, but really under Greg Berhalter, we've struggled with that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's disappointing because I thought that Canada game was so free flowing. There's times where we could go back and forth and get out on the break ourselves, and yet we still couldn't capitalize on very many of those chances. So I don't know. It just gives me a lot of concern, Pat. Going up against teams like Honduras tonight even is a great example. Costa Rica doesn't have the strongest team anymore, so you're not going to see a lot of teams really open it up against us. And I think it's going to be tough to score. If it's tough to score against Canada, then it's going to be really tough to score against some of these lesser opponents. So
yeah, and you bring up some solid points there, and especially as it relates right to this Honduras game and team. They are missing some players like you highlighted there, but they also still have some pretty solid active players in attack. From Rigoberto Rivas to the other Chucky Lozano, right?
Yeah.
So again, they are fantastic poachers there, especially Honduras playing those launching those long balls, right? Diagonal passes, trying to spring a quick counter here. They'll be ready and hungry, especially if we kind of get exposed out of the back. So just two players to kind of watch out for there. And then their midfielders are full of kind of energy. They harass you, go into tackles hard. So I'm very curious to see. Again, I feel like Adams, and there has been some, have been some players, right, that perform very well in those types of environment. But not only that, we need that kind of attacking prowess and be able to connect, as well as kind of maintain and keep that level of fight, right, in the midfield and win those 50-50 challenges. Go into tackles, be aggressive, but also, again, on the flip side, link and connect play there. So I'll be curious to see the battle there. But Honduras still have some weapons, Austin, and at home with that crowd. Like I said, you gotta silence them, or they will be energized. They'll be throwing stuff all over the field. They'll be loud.
That's the constant in CONCACAF. We can always count on fans throwing things on the field. Yeah.
Right.
I think you really hit it on the head with Honduras and how they'll play tonight. Should we go into some of these little topics we talked about off camera that we were curious to hear? Some other people's opinions in the comment. Feel free to join in. That's why we do these live shows, is to really hear from you guys and kind of interact more and kind of let you know what we think, and then again hear what you have to say. So the one idea going into this game, especially with all the injuries, right? We've got Gio Reyna out injured, Serginho Dest out injured. Weston McKennie's not here.
Not ideal.
Zach Steffen is caught COVID, so he's not in the team. When you really look at the players that we're going to miss tonight, we're missing a lot of creativity, a lot of flair, right? Serginho, Gio, even Weston to some extent. And this is what really prompted this question in our minds. I'm setting the stage for this question, Pat, because I know it'll ruffle some feathers maybe. With that, right? With this lineup, with Christian Pulisic really being our key player for this game. There's not many other key players, in my opinion, on the field. Would it make sense to move him inside more and play him as the number 10?
Very interesting. Curious.
You saw it to some effect in the last World Cup qualifying cycle. Obviously, it's a hotbed topic and something we haven't talked about in a while for good reason, because we have the players to do it, right? We're not missing players in the middle who can, advance possession, create chances. Usually, at least they do it on their club teams, I should say. So, with the absence of them, and I'm not saying this as like an every time thing, but for this game, would it make sense to start Christian Pulisic at the number 10 position?
I think, Austin, from my view, I definitely want to hear what others have to say. I would be okay with it. I think we don't have enough creativity in there, especially in the midfield there. Pulisic has played that role before with everything going on. Reyna not available. Love to see him, right, ideally in that spot. Just the players that we have, right? Roldan, you think of Acosta, Adams, obviously Weston out too, Leggett. They don't have that kind of skill to be able to, maybe take people on more, have a few different dribbles, successful chances created. They do offer, again, no knock on Adams, right? But with some of those other players I listed, it'd be fine at Pulisic, draw defenders in, open up some lanes there, have Anthony, bombing forward in the left, right? And then even, combining when Sargent checks maybe a 1-2 with him and Pulisic, and then having even a Conrad, right? Someone that's so dangerous when he's isolated 1-on-1 against defenders. So I think that'd be great to drag him in, get him a little bit more of the ball, have all those players surround, right, and spring it out wide, and then play balls back in, I think could be a pretty effective strategy.
Yeah, and honestly, Pat, one way to do it may not be, starting him truly at the 10, right? We posted our preferred starting lineup on Instagram, and we thought they should go with a 3-4-3 tonight. Obviously, we should be on the front foot in this game. Why stick 4 defenders back? Let's, only stick 3 back there, get the wing backs, flanking up the field. And in doing that, have Christian Pulisic rotate inside, right? Have him exchange with Anthony Robinson, have him cover the wing from time to time. And I just think, one of those two ways to get him involved more in the middle of the game, in the middle of the park, to kind of be that creator for us, could really bode well, not in this game, but also just, going forward if injuries persist, right? This is a long, grueling battle to get to the World Cup with all these games in such quick succession. I think it's definitely an option that we should look at, right? And Greg Berhalter's shown that you can switch up the lineup from time to time, right? We've played, with 3 at the back at times. We've played, in our classic.
Come so far, Austin, from Adams being an outside back.
What did you say, Pat? I'm sorry.
We have come so far from Adams being an outside back.
Yeah, and tucking in too. Yeah. Yeah, and thank goodness we don't have Will Trapp anymore in the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you brought in Yule.
Yeah, true. Who's now with the team? So hey, there's regression. But yeah, so it's just something we threw out there. Again, curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think this is something that would make sense? And again, looking at the last World Cup cycle, obviously it's 4 years ago. Christian Pulisic was our main creator, and so far in this cycle, obviously 2 games in, he hasn't had the best games. He hasn't been the most influential player on the pitch in either of the games, really. So, would this kind of help that? Help him become that for us?
Right. And also, I'm also curious too, again, he said he was okay, right? Feeling fit, feeling good. He did go get him out in Canada, right? Playing all those minutes. But again, I don't see the harm, at least starting out strong. I think that's the most important thing. We've got to come out hot. Let's start Christian. If he tires out, just sub him off early second half, But we need to start off, pedal on the gas. And I think he could be very effective, running around causing chaos there. In potentially that number 10 or slotted in more right in that role. So I don't see the problem there. And again, I know he wants to be out there and play, knocking on some wood, everyone else stays kind of injury free, right? As we round out this last game, but you have to have them start.
Yeah. And it's funny you say an early sub, Pat. Greg Berhalter doesn't do early subs.
I know. What am I thinking? Man. What am I thinking?
You're injured. You're not coming off until the 85th minute at least. Come on now.
I think I need some energy drink or coffee. Completely forgot about Greg Berhalter's mismanaged subs there. So
yeah, right.
Awesome. And I guess also want to hear from you all too. I guess if we need to bring in subs, who would be the best choices there? And I mean, we have to do it earlier, right? I mean, 50, 60 minutes, you can't wait to the last 5 or 10.
Yeah, but the substitute bench is not too long anymore, right? We've got Tim Weah out, Gio Reyna, Serginho Dest, so there's not too many options there for, creativity. The one player that we really want to see, we've posted him in our starting lineup the past 2 times now, is Ricardo Pepi. And like, obviously, maybe he's not our out-and-out starter right now, right? I don't want to say that I don't want to say that we need to see him so much because he's going to be the answer at striker at this moment in time. I just want to see him in this window to captain him, right? Like selfishly, as a USMNT fan, I don't want this guy, not taking part in our World Cup qualifiers and potentially playing for Mexico in the future.
Yeah, he'll be getting some whispers, right, from the Mexican camp if he sees no action.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, it's I understand that all players need to wait their turn, right? But if you call up a player, and make a big fuss about it, right? Like that was what this was. This was his decision. That's how it's been painted. We need to kind of honor that and show him that we're committed to him as well. I don't think that necessarily means he needs to start, but he needs to at least get cap-tied in this camp, right?
Yeah.
I just don't understand that the philosophy there from Greg, but I don't know. I see our boy H Huss is in the chat right now. Says, "Let's go, boys!" Super excited. He also says Pepi won't be at Dallas next season. Get him in Europe. Yeah, I mean, we'd love to talk about him, right? Young Americans abroad. Hey, get him overseas.
Curious to see where he would potentially go, but I guess that's maybe a topic for another video, right?
Yeah, it's trained at Bayern 2 times now for a few weeks. So they're familiar with him at least. I don't know if that would be the best spot for him, but we've heard those Bologna rumors over in Italy.
Right.
Again, not sure if that would be the best spot for him, but yeah, if he can finish the season strong at Dallas, then I agree with Huss. I don't think he's going to be in MLS next season.
I agree too, Austin. And he offers so much, right? Even as a young player, his intelligence, right? Running, knowing that the run of play, I think that could really benefit, especially against tired legs and just getting him in, as a substitute here. I know I think in interviews, right, he's been compared to Haaland and Lewa. Not bad comparisons, and definitely players he looks up to, I believe he said in an interview. But something to definitely strive for, and that folks have seen similar qualities definitely speaks volumes. Again, his pace, he's just ruthless, right? Relentless with pressure, and a really great finisher.
Yeah. I don't know if he's someone who really loves to pressure teams or has that really in his tool bag. But he is a great finisher, like you said, Pat. He's someone who can also come back and combine too, right? He's not just someone who, you know, can hit on the counter and, you know, if he's in the box, all he can do is shoot, kind of like, you know, Josh Artist. He doesn't really combine with people much, but Ricardo Pepi has that in his tool bag. He can come back, you know, even receive the ball and kind of, you know, hold up play too. So yeah, obviously he's still young. He's only 18 years old. He needs to continue to, you know, strengthen up, beefing out, and he'll be, you know, a quality striker going forward. So yeah, I guess what should we move on to next, Pat? I feel like we have, you know, a few more topics to cover, and then maybe the USMNT lineup will be out then, and we can kind of
take a look at that. We're kind of checking, right? You know, just refreshing Twitter and the lineups constantly, seeing if the MNT accounts or US Soccer comms have put anything out. But I guess, Austin, again, I don't want to put all the pressure right on you, so fans, you know, help us out too. But I guess, you know, with the midfield, right, and creating chances, who do you think is going to step up? Who is going to be, you know, maybe that individual, or maybe it isn't just solely an individual, but how are we going to kind of break down, you know, maybe a low block, or, you know, who's going to be the one that says, hey, I'm not going to play it safe, you know, go side to side with these passes. It's too slow, right, with the rotation. Who's going to take those chances and risks in the game? Do you have any kind of maybe a prediction, Austin, a player or two that might, you know, feel inspired, you know, and rise to the occasion?
I don't know, Pat. I'm really struggling right now. When you said that, I really tried to rack my brain for who could that be. And I mean,
all day.
Honestly, if Conrad starts in this game, I think he's someone who can definitely take the ball at players. You saw in El Salvador, he made, you know, that great run in the second half up the field, and you know, really it was a dangerous opportunity if he, you know, laid the ball off a little bit better and you know, was able to finish in the final third. Then you know, he could have scored a goal and we could have won that game. But other than him, I don't really have a player in mind. Josh Sargent, from time to time, right, can do his own thing and get open and take some chances, but he's clearly not, you know, known for finishing. So
yeah. You know who I would have loved to see, Austin, not to get too sidetracked? Matt Hockey. Or even Martini. I would have loved to see those guys in this environment, this situation, man.
There's a lot of names, right? And there was some justified reasons for why that is. You know, Matt Hoppy moved to Mallorca on transfer day. But yeah, he's one I would have liked to see. Yunus Musa, he's back healthy.
Yes.
Obviously, maybe he wasn't fully healthy in time for these games, but he would have really came in handy last game, right? With no S. McKinney, having someone with his quality in midfield, someone who is, you know, really thirsting for an opportunity with us to you know, prove himself and show that he's, you know, going to be a star player for us going forward. So he would have been a great addition to the squad. Yeah, there's definitely some other players we're missing, you know, that could have maybe provided a spark. But it's funny because
Austin.
Was that, Pat? I'm sorry.
The starting XI is just out a minute or two ago.
Oh, okay. You saw the 11?
We got some updates. So I'll just kind of run through it. I don't have the formation up right here, but obviously Turner. We have Adams. Looks like Brooks back there. Josh Sargent gets the start. We got Pulisic, and then Miles Robinson. You know, I think we predicted that too. And look who's on the lineup.
Ricardo Pepi.
Are we the kings of prediction now?
No, that's tactical.
I know, that's tact. We love him too. But not a bad prediction, right?
Yeah.
Should go buy a scratch off or something.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, James Sams, Austin, George Bello.
Yeah, another player I wanted to see more of, right? Like he looks great in the great in the Gold Cup. I really likes excuse me. I really like what he brings to this team, especially in a 3 at the back system, which it looks like we're playing tonight. So yeah, great. I love it.
What a unique lineup.
I kind of like George Bello and Kellen Acosta rounding it out.
Yeah. Quite the adaptation, right? I think this is a
Huss says Pepi.
Yeah, that's right.
This.
That's right. This is huge, Austin. Now are you a little more excited? Let's go.
Yeah, Sam says 3-4-3 then. I imagine. And maybe it's what would it be, a 3-5-2, maybe? With 2 strikers?
Possibly.
Potentially, maybe Josh Sargent will
You see
play out
Sargent
on
kind of underneath Pepe?
maybe, and then Pulisic and Pepe up top.
I don't know. That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how we line up tonight with these players. But definitely, you've got Tyler Adams and Kellen Acosta in midfield. I mean, maybe James Sands is the six, but I think it's probably safe to assume he's a center back in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So do you think Acosta then would be right back, or is that?
Well, with the 3-4-3, it might be Sargent at like right wing. I don't know. That would be my guess. And again, you guys can let us know what you think in the comments. But if I had to guess, I think 3-4-3.
Yeah,
I like the Bello start too. I was tempted to put him in our starting lineup prediction because he looked good in the Gold Cup, right? He provides some good speed on the wing, and yeah, I just kind of want to see more of him, to be completely honest. I know he's not a polished player, but this is Honduras, right? Like, we should be on the front foot in this game. And Anthony Robinson, we talked about this last time, Pat. I don't know if you were able to watch the live show, but Anthony Robinson did so many good things going forward, right? He set up our goal. He got tons of crosses in, really, attacked Canada down that left flank. But in the second half, we kept getting attacked down, our left flank. Canada really kind of took advantage of him being out of position,
right.
And just not tracking back and really being strong to help out in those team defending situations. So yeah, I don't think he's someone that's untouchable, and I don't think I think we understand that, but I say that because I think Bello, is definitely it's worth putting him in this game tonight, right? Get a look in on him.
Absolutely. I like it. I really like the changes, Austin. And again, just really curious to see kind of that Sargent. Oh yeah, there we go. 10 times. I agree. Add some extra zeros. But that up front, I'm very curious just to see the runs, how they play off each other. I think this could really work. I'm very intrigued to see how maybe Pepe, Sargent, Pulisic, all kind of communicate up there. Just kind of targeting those three there. But you're really curious.
Yeah, and again, this allows Christian Pulisic, like we said, it allows him to tuck inside, and George Bell will kind of overlap on him, and Pepe and Sargent can kind of play in those dual striker roles with Christian, hopefully providing service behind him. So I really like this. I think going into the game, I feel confident now. So we'll see how the game starts. We talked about we talked about all the off the field things, all the intangibles, right, Pat? Like football game, all the intangibles with the stadium, crowd noise, how we're going to manage that. But going into the game, I like our lineup. I see we got a comment from our friend Gucci Bra here, Brandon Panetta.
Panetta.
He says a three back is definitely the way to go for this game, in my opinion. Need to start off strong and get bodies forward to put pressure on Honduras. Good move by Berhalter. Yeah, I agree. I think I think we need to get more bodies forward. We need to really put pressure on them and really cause them to move. I think we need to move the ball, from side to side to kind of get them out of position and then attack that way.
No, couldn't agree more, Austin. And just to echo what you said, right? What we talked about, some of those keys to success. Having that tough mentality, but also starting this game strong. If we can silence that crowd within the first 20, 25 minutes, it'd be excellent. And I mean, again, not a related example, right? Because Canada's at home tonight. But I turned on that TV with lovely Paramount Plus when I'm finally committed, and they scored within the first few minutes. And then another goal, fairly, short right after, and had El Salvador stunned. And I was just thinking, man, again, I know Canada's at home, but if we could have just started out that strong to silence the crowd, especially there in Honduras, who they're going to be rowdy, they're going to be passionate, and get kind of their players motivated on the field. If we can suck all of that energy out, suck that into a vacuum, that'll be so beneficial. Because even if we, Austin, honestly, I want to get your thoughts too on the prediction, right?
Sure.
Score lines. I was totally happy with even 1-0. We should come out strong, hit a goal in, and then even not necessarily sit back completely, but adjust a little bit more, maybe not as attacking, be a little bit more cautious. And I'd be happy walking out with a 1-0, 2-0 win. Obviously, prefer the extra goal, but that's kind of my opinion going in before the lineup. I thought this is going to be very tight. It's tough playing away at Honduras there. The pitch, the environment, things like that. The humidity is unbelievable. And yeah, I was thinking maybe it's either going to be a 1-1, depending on how things line up and go, a 1-0 win, maybe 2-1. I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, I really think, if we can get out to an early lead, right, that would be, do wonders for us. Obviously, we can't take our foot off the gas, but I think it would just, kind of loosen us up a little bit, help us understand that, the sky isn't falling, which it feels like a little bit right now. And I think it would let us, get into the game a little bit more. We just gotta, like you said, start off strong. That's the whole theme of tonight, right? It's really just, mind over matter, right? Like so much going on right now, so many, people's opinions, including ours, out there right now, this team. So just kind of put it to the side for tonight and really kind of take it, upon themselves to kind of, right the ship from what's going on in these first two games.
So what would you say, Austin, quickly? I just want to get your prediction. Maybe
prediction. Squeeze one out of me. Okay.
Squeeze one out. Come on.
I mean, I like this lineup. I was really, again, anxious to see who we'd start in this game. So seeing that, I feel a little bit better, and I'll go 1-0. I will go 1-0.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking too. 1-0 USA, baby, or I think 2-1. But I think this is the game we get that win. Again, 5 points, right? Not what we were really expecting. But again, everything's kind of tight. There's been a lot of draws. Obviously, Mexico got off to a stronger start, right? But, I think, again, all of this kind of noise, everything going on will be kind of forgotten, right? If we come out with a win and play really well and purposeful, play with a purpose. Maybe it doesn't have to be too cute and fancy, right? But if we're just being efficient, with our chances, creating those chances, which is so important, right? That's totally fine than a million back passes and going side to side.
I don't know. Now I'm a little bit more excited, Pat. I don't know.
Yeah. Time's turning.
So what are your guys' predictions for tonight? I want to hear some juicy predictions. 8-0 Honduras. No.
It was funny. I saw some. I think it was some of the other Hercs or one of the other shows, right? They were putting out tweets or comments like, "Who do you think? What's the prediction?" On the YouTube comments, and it was like 7-0, 8-0 Honduras. I'm like, come on, get out of there.
Oh my goodness. Huss here says 2-0 USA. All right, so Huss, who's the scorers? Come on, give us your crystal ball predictions.
I mean, I think we got to go. I'm going to go Pepe. I think he's going to put one across. Let's go.
All
the stars are aligning tonight.
Well, tonight he is officially cap-tied to us. So, okay. So Tam P says 3-1 USA win. Okay,
I like it. Feeling confident with the goals tonight.
Yeah, it'd be nice to score 3 goals.
Seriously.
Peter Rodriguez says Pepe goal and Pulisic pen.
Okay. Like it, Peter.
Okay, that's also what Huss says here. He says Pepe and Puli scores. So
interesting.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Ricardo Pepe start tonight, right? Make his USMNT debut, be cap-tied, and then also score. That would be dream debut, dream start, man.
Oh yeah,
be penciled in at number 1.
It's up for grabs, right? It's completely up for grabs up there.
Honestly, Daryl DK has gained the most from this camp so far. I'll just throw that out there.
How funny is that? It's unbelievable. What do you think Josie Altidore is doing right now, sitting back on his couch? Is
it bad I haven't even thought about Josie Altidore in months? Oh, boy. C. McCall says another 0-0. That happens.
Clean sheet.
I would not want to be any of those players or Greg Berhalter. Wouldn't be a fun month.
And I mean, to be fair too, right? To Honduras not scoring or low chances, right? I mean, you mentioned at the beginning, some of those players they're missing and lacking. They do have some threats up top, but some of their top players are not here in this qualifying window. So, that'll be a bit of a challenge too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's see maybe who Honduras is starting. I don't know if we'll be able to find that right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but yeah, I think just overall, really, it's so important for us to end on such a high here with this camp, with all the noise, all the drama that we've echoed here, right? And if we pull some positives and have some great performances here, we can take that into the next qualifying window. I would love to see some of these other players, and then also, again, like we talked about, Gioacchini, some other players called in, right? Weah's may be healthy. I'd love to see Reina, essentially there. The idea of kind of that Reina, Pulisic, Pepe, combination. Again, maybe I'm dreaming here, but just sounds really exciting to me.
So there's two funny comments here. So the first one is 0-0 and Berhalter gets fired. I don't know.
About that. What's going through Berhalter's mind right now?
I don't know. I was gonna say maybe it's a little harsh, not too much all the time, but no, I don't know. I kid. Guys helped us out in several different ways, including recruiting. So I can't shame the man too much just yet. But I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get fired, even if they lose tonight. But it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. And then Kyle here says, "Laugh it up. Bobby Wood found his mojo and got rid of the Shanks. He stays hot. He's getting the call." Man, our boy Bobby Wood used to be a Bobby Wood believer back in 2016.
Yeah.
Man.
Good times, awesome. I was a big fan of Bobby.
Yeah, but then it all fell apart.
What's he doing now?
No, he is playing kind of well for RSL now, so
okay.
I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying we need to call him up, but
honestly, completely forgot he was with RSL.
Really? Yeah. There's not Hamburg sitting on the making some good money. Will Grigg says here, Tyler Adams playing right back. Is that true?
Yeah, I was either thinking that or Acosta, right in that right wing back spot.
Oh,
that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Oh yeah, because we have James Sands, McKenzie. Oh, interesting. Definitely overlook that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking scuffed here. Just tweet out 3-4-1-2.
3-4-1-2.
Potentially.
Let's see what our friend over at Scuffed has.
Yeah, and Grant Wall just looks like a 3-4-1-2. Sands is a D mid. Pulisic playing behind Sargent and Pepe. That's what it looks like.
Okay. So we do get to see him at the 10. Interesting. All right. And here we are beating the curve, Pat. Look at that.
Look at that. Gosh, we're doing our homework.
Greg Berhalter's mind. Don't forget that.
Inside, behind the crest. Americans abroad.
Yeah, right. Interesting. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. Let's see some other comments here. How do you rate Berhalter? Oh, do you want to take this one, Pat?
That's a loaded question. That's so funny. Yeah, I'm honestly, again, I'm more leaning on the negative side of things. Just going back to USSF and that situation, right? That kind of has a sour taste in my mouth. So again, I'm not sure he's the right guy for the job, but at the same time, I want success for this program. So kind of 50-50 in the middle in the rating, leaning more towards on the scale of 1 to 10, probably a 4, closer to a 3, to be honest, maybe a little too harsh and negative. But again, he's just slightly concerned with all this time he's had, and the lack of kind of, I guess, confidence the players have, the lack of chances created, the offensive side of things, the frustration we're seeing. A lot of it's stacking up on his shoulders. So how do you rate him, Austin?
Yeah, I don't know. I think right now, if I had to give him a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I honestly have to go to a 5. I think he's been a 7 in recruiting, 7 or an 8 even, 7.5. I think he's done a really good job.
That's talent side, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, when it comes to tactics, I like some of the things he's done. Like I do like our lineup, the usual 4-3-3 or what is it, 4-3-2-1, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like how he's instituted that mostly. Again, I like how he's been able to kind of use this 3 at the back system. Sorry, my shoe came off. So I like how he's been able to kind of switch things up, and he's been somewhat flexible. But then, we have these games where, the players he starts just doesn't make any sense, right? Sometimes, like, we just get certain players again called up. And obviously it's changed a little bit, right? Like, we're not getting Will Trapp called up. We're not getting Jackson Ewell or, oh goodness, I don't even remember who the left back was back in the day from Montreal, who's now in Nashville, I think. I can't think of his name now.
I don't even want to remember, honestly.
Yeah, goodness. But yeah, I just think, like, again, the sub thing, right? Him waiting to make a sub in the final minutes of the second half is not something that happened once. It's happened multiple times. So I say that to say I think from tactics, I would give him a 2.5. So I think it evens out in the middle at a 5. And, again, that feels like it fits the narrative, right? There's nothing super special in my mind about Greg Berhalter. I think there's other better candidates out there.
And
are we able to get them
back to? I think people were digging up, right? Was it one of the Scandinavian teams, right, in the first or even second division? I think. He was fired, right, with the lack of attack there and prowess with the chances. So it's a kind of concerning trend that you can kind of go back to and pull data points from. Obviously, again, a lot to dive in there, different layers to it, completely different situations, but nonetheless. Yeah, there's a lot of other solid candidates out there, Austin, that are kind of right on the back end, and even Jesse Marsh's accidental Twitter fingers there, ready for the kill.
Yeah, I see. Huss says, "Did you guys see Jesse Marsh looking at tweets like Berhalter?" So I don't know if that's 100% true. I feel like it is because Arthur at USMNT only posted it, and he's pretty good about making sure things are legit. But then I saw a few other Photoshop things where Jesse Marsh liked them, and they definitely weren't something Jesse Marsh liked.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, if it's true, then brutal, and definitely stirring the pot a little bit, Jesse. But he's got his own thing to worry about, right? Like Leipzig.
Yeah.
Start off the season so hot, and I'm not saying that to really rag on him or put him down. I'm just saying that he's got his own stuff he's got to worry about too. So. If it's true, savage, but if it's not, it's good banter.
So much drama going on. I've never seen this. It feels like, I don't know, something like TMZ.
Never a dull moment in the USMNT social circle.
Keep your alerts on.
Yeah, we have Anthony who says, I just subscribed to the channel, so appreciate that.
Thank you, Anthony.
Love hearing that. Will Greek here says, convinced Anthony Robinson did something with Greg's wife. All right. Well,
no comment.
Should we not dangle the Wes McKinney rumor out at this moment in time, Pat?
Oh, man. I don't even want to go down that path, but honestly, I would have loved to see Anthony. I'm a big fan. I'm a really big fan of Anthony in his plays. So.
I don't think I'm nearly as much of a fan as you, Pat. I don't know. I'm hot and cold on Anthony all the time.
I get it. I get the credit. I don't know. He got the assist, right?
Yeah, he did.
I just like what he offers going forward.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just he doesn't. I don't know. In my opinion, he doesn't super gel with the team. He plays that very English style, right? Just loves to put his head down and take the ball by people.
That's fair.
Not the most technically skilled, but again, he's a left back, so that's not necessarily supposed to be a strong suit. I don't know. We're kind of a mess right now, so I guess I really shouldn't be splitting hairs, but here I am splitting the hairs.
Yeah. We're gonna clean up the mess, Austin. We're cleaning it up tonight.
We need a bigger bucket, buddy. Jonathan Walker here says, guys, I am not feeling good about this game or this qualification campaign, to be honest. Wow. Yeah. Going into this qualifying campaign, I felt very good. So hearing that and, sympathizing with it, feeling similar feelings.
Understand.
Yeah, it's
Understand
brutal.
the pain, Jonathan. I have this feeling. You guys stick with it here. Again, I know we have some serious questions and concerns about Berhalter, but we have to. I don't know. What do you think too about a must-win game? Would you say it's down to that? I know there's been a lot of folks also on the flip side saying, okay, well, a draw isn't entirely going to ruin everything. We're only a few points back, or there's just not many spots plus the playoff. But I'm leaning towards a win. I think it is a must win. I think it's honestly kind of ridiculous to say we'd be okay with a tie. Granted, it is away at Honduras, but that's just my thoughts. And again, yeah, I'm kind of with Jonathan, back to not feeling good just about this qualification campaign. And that will especially be emphasized if we tie or lose.
Yeah, it's weird, right? This feels like it's kind of one game before a must win, in my opinion. But, this is a new cycle, right? This is a new setup. The octagonal is something we haven't done before. So, we've talked about, winning all of our home games and we're in and we'll make it. So, can we afford to lose a game on the road or even tie a game on the road and, come out with no losses, but all draws? Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely possible, right? We're definitely still going to have, every opportunity to qualify for the World Cup still, even if we tie tonight, or even if we lose. But yeah, it's just in terms of the morale right now, right? And thinking about we have to play 3 more games in less than 30 days, and we got to be sharp for those, and we got to be locked in. And if we're struggling to lock in right now, it just sets a bad precedent. So yeah, when you look at it that way, from not just the analytical side where, we see how many points we need, more the morale side. Yeah, it feels kind of like a must win. So
yeah, definitely. And there's so many factors, right? Different club situations, injuries, you don't know what's going to happen, right? So, with the players we have, and look what's kind of happened, right, over time and just the schedule of football, right? Club and country. There's so many games now condensed everywhere.
Yeah. The Champions League starting up.
Champions League. Yeah. So again, we really need to get the wins when we have the players, available. Because again, I know people are dying, right? For what was it? The Pulisic, Adams, McKennie.
Still have not really seen much of it.
Right. So you got to take the chances when you have the players.
It's a great point, Pat. Yeah, with all these games coming up, club and country. Yeah, there's sure to be injuries, right? We've already had 3 or 4 injuries, right? With Tim Weah, Gio, and Serginho. So yeah, it's bound to happen. Let's take a look at some more comments here. So Anthony says, who should I be looking at for the future at the pure number 9 target forward? Because I don't see Josh Sargent as a target forward, which is kind of fair. He's more of a winger to me. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but I'm not privy with all the acronyms, so forgive me.
It's almost close to our acronym.
Yeah, right. Yeah, acronym. I mean, we did a video actually on this on YouTube. I guess going through our top 5 strikers. So forgive me if I'm wrong, Pat, but from that video we had Jordan Sabachu, who's more of a pure number 9 target forward. We also talked about Valerian Balogun, who I don't think he would be qualified really as a target forward, but he is someone that is an all-around forward, someone who can kind of get into the box. 19-year-old English
Matthew Hoppe.
Matt Hoppe, yeah, another player, but again, not really a target forward, right? Someone who's more of that all-around, can kind of makes good runs into the box, can also come back and combine in midfield. When you talk about target forward, one name really pops in my mind, and that's Daryl Dike.
Daryl Dike,
yeah. I think he needs to be someone who gets called up in October. Obviously, if he's healthy, just scored for Orlando City this past weekend, I think, or this past set of MLS games.
Right, right. And he had a lot of injuries, right, Austin? There's something off. You could tell
At
while he
the
was
Gold
having some of
Cup,
those poor
yeah.
games, right?
Mhm.
And he was just dead tired. He needed a rest, kind of revamp, right? So I'm agreeing with you. I'd love to see him there. I think he'd be fun, right, to kind of bully and body around some of these, Central American, defenses there. I think he could be, a pretty good target there, especially kind of with the other options we have. There are more wingers.
Yeah, and he's a good, off the field presence as well, right? He's always very happy. He's someone, who has that personality on him. So, yeah, just another player who can kind of add to that locker room presence, and yeah, could really be an asset for us. So, I'm going to go on to the next comment here from gliding with. I'm not sure how to even say that, so I'm going to stop. What are your thoughts on Luca De La Torre for next month? Yeah, I mean, I think he's a fine player, right? He's someone who's capable of playing at this CONCACAF level. Like, playing him against El Salvador, I have no worries about. Same with Honduras. Like, I think he could, be on the field and provide a lot of quality going forward in his own right. When you talk about starting him over Tyler Adams, hopefully Weston McKennie when he's back, and maybe Gio Reyna in midfield, maybe Yunus Musa. Even Sebastian Lletget, I think, maybe you could make the case for Lletget over him. I don't know. I'm like on the fence with him. I think he's someone who's definitely worth watching for the future, but I'm not super bummed that he's not in this camp and hasn't been someone that's really been involved with the team so far. But
yeah,
what's your take, Pat?
Yeah, I think a lot of us are kind of craving for something different, something new.
Sure.
And just kind of the what if, right? If he's in there, we have seen some really bright moments. He offers a lot of energy, the aggression, and can kind of, create chances there. So he does offer a lot of pros. But again, I'm not clamoring, I guess, to see him start right away or, play 70 plus minutes for all these games. I don't think he's, that much of a presence, to be starting. But I think he could have been a really beneficial sub, bring on somebody. Again, with Greg's subs, maybe too late, but bring on somebody, someone like him could come on 70, 75th minute. I think he could, create a little bit of havoc with tired legs there, which I think we did see him come in, right, in that type of role before.
Yeah, and he is a player that operates well in tight space. So, that's definitely something, like you're saying, Pat, that, a quality that could really kind of spark a team later on in a game and kind of create, something out of nothing. So, yeah, he's an interesting option. Great passer of the ball, someone who's not super physical as a midfielder. I think that's the one knock I would say on him. Is still kind of young and still plays in the Eredivisie, which is a decent level, but it's not as high of a level as some of these other players we're calling in. So, I think there's validity to calling him in. Another player that would be really interesting to see in a camp again is Julian Green, right? I feel like they're both in the same. I think they're both very similar players. Yeah. Like I interpret their games very similarly, right? Like Julian Green plays a little bit more up the field, likes to take a lot of shots from distance. That's something we've seen at Greuther Fürth, and then also for the men's national team. But he's also a player that likes to operate in tight spaces. Is a good passer of the ball, someone who is good at connecting play from midfield to attack. So I think those are two players that definitely could provide something going forward if we're really coming away from this window looking for different answers at these positions.
Couldn't agree more, Austin. Very curious behind that. I think he should have. And it's funny that him and Luca De La Torre have kind of been in the same conversation, kind of grouped together there about those guys both being called out. So that's intriguing. But yeah, I'd love to see him back. And kind of how about the storyline, right? That the guy who scored, right, our last goal in a World Cup potentially coming back here. That'd be quite the story.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Him, John Brooks, and DeAndre Edlin.
Yeah.
The sole, veterans from that team. It's so crazy to even think about that. The next time we go into a World Cup, fingers crossed. Geez, Julian Green would be our most recent goal scorer. It's still, it's crazy to hear. So I'm going to move on to the next comment here. We have Arsenal Footy 420 saying Bruce Arena 3.0. So I think that's in reference to when we were talking about, how we rate Greg Berhalter. And yeah, I hope not. God bless Bruce. We don't need, him 3.0.
No.
So
I was just watching. That's honestly kind of fair too. And I was just watching some of that. I don't know why I was doing that to myself, but the USMNT versus Trinidad there, kind of arena going, I'd love to see these European hot shots come in here and play a game in these conditions against CONCACAF teams. And I don't know why I did that to myself, Austin, but yeah.
You love the pain, Pat. You love the pain. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, just thinking about how that ended was, just makes me angry all over again. But
moving on though to success and victory here tonight, right, guys? Come on, we gotta get pumped.
Anthony says, Pat, let's say Greg Berhalter is not successful. Who would you want to replace him? For me, I'm between Mourinho or Conte.
Oh man, those are very bold picks. I like them both as managers. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Right now. But I was kind of intrigued again.
I'm going Conte, bro. Come on, we gotta get Antonio Conte.
I would pick Conte over Mourinho. He's not playing BBB, Brian Reynolds there. So
Mourinho would be such a joy to watch, though, coaching this team.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he'd be throwing everything he could, slamming clipboards and chairs and seats. But I think Marsh is one for the future. But again, some concerns right now that are happening. Even again going to I think Tactical Manager has offered some great insight there on some of the coaches. I think he mentioned Oscar Pareja there and even Caleb Porter. Maybe that was somebody else. But I think maybe if again, all goes terribly and we need a replacement immediately, I don't mind Caleb Porter or somebody again, maybe Vermees or someone there that can kind of ride the ship for now. But again, I'd love to see some of these top managers, maybe even Jurgen Klopp turn things around.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that would be awesome.
I had to throw him in there.
I don't know. Yeah, it's so tough. Yeah, and it's just like, going back to when we hired Greg Berhalter, right? We heard that Tata Martino was interested. He's getting grilled in, the Mexican press right now for the job he's doing, which, I guess it's warranted, but he's still always someone that interests me. Again, I don't know if it would be a good look if he gets fired from Mexico and takes over our national team. I don't think the optics of that would really be good to hire him. So maybe he's not, someone to look at. But yeah, Pereira is interesting. I don't know. I really feel like our next coach needs to be a motivator. And that's why Jesse Marsh makes so much sense, right? Like he is, he takes so much pride in being a motivator, being a communicator, someone who's a player's coach that really gets the guys to buy in. And I think that's honestly the thing we haven't seen enough from Greg Berhalter is that buy-in. Like we've talked about it a little bit and we've tried to extrapolate the buy-in from some of the things we've seen, some of the things he said, some of the things players have said. But deep down, I've never felt that the players have truly been full 100% bought in on Greg Berhalter. And I just think we need someone who has a bit more of a rep. Maybe that's shallow of me for saying, but I think that's something that's required. And also something, a manager who, again, prides himself on the motional aspect. And not Jurgen Klinsmann. I know people are going to say, we had that in Jurgen Klinsmann. Right. We did. And I thought Jurgen did fine for, a good amount of years, but we don't need to revisit him awesome. Or wish that he stayed because it wouldn't have worked out. So I'm putting that out there right now.
You got to put it out there. But also, again, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of USSF and everything right like that, right? But I don't know. I feel like it's still some people at the top that it's going to take a long time to kind of get maybe even some of those top managers or anybody kind of in that Klinsmann realm again. It might be more MLS favor or MLS heavy to bring in, and again maybe thinking long term, I thought Tab would do a little bit better as an MLS coach, but just seeing him with the youth program and how much they respect him. Right, going through, we were down there in at IMG, right, Austin?
Yeah,
we saw some of those guys there, for a tournament. But Yeah, I don't know. He's really disappointing too. I thought he'd be better. I thought he'd be maybe in the conversation for somebody on the fringe down the line, but kind of disappointed to have.
Yeah, and Houston's tough, right? It's a tough place to be because they don't want to spend money.
Yeah,
They have some history, right? They won one MLS Cup before.
the money ball of MLS.
Yeah, but it's just not the same. And yeah, I don't know if their struggling has been due to Tab or due to just again all those factors I laid out. So I don't know. Tab would be an interesting coach because again he has chemistry with some of the players that are currently on the team. He has done things to be or to command that respect, but there has been moments again with certain players he's taken, certain players he's left out of the first team. In some of those competitions, the one that comes to mind is Julian Araujo. He wasn't on the roster for the U20 World Cup, then came on as came on the trip as an injury sub and then didn't play a lick. And we played players out of position at the back and played Mark McKenzie, who, was injured for a long time and clearly wasn't 100% over him. And I don't understand why. So, yeah, I think he would be an interesting one, but definitely someone who is not bulletproof as a candidate. So,
yeah,
just throwing it out there. We have some more comments, so kind of want to go through some of these quick. Who do you like between Ricardo Pepi or Daryl Dike? It's a tough one. I think Pepi definitely has a higher ceiling, mostly because he's younger and also has, more, more of a varied skill set than Daryl Dike. And again, we kind of talked about that earlier in this live stream. And Daryl Dike, I think, it really, we really have to see where he goes this coming year. It sounds like in winter he's going to get transferred. So, if he goes to a really good opportunity, then who knows? It could, vault the ceiling even higher.
Right. I think, two different players, I think, or offer, different kind of, traits and skill sets for different games, I think could both, really be utilized effectively here in the right systems and getting the right deliveries. So, but yeah, I think it's a great debate to have, right, between two young talents.
Yeah. Going on to the next comment, we have it's the third match in 1 week. Should GGG start with a faster lineup like Pepe up top with Luca De La Torre, or bring them off the bench to run at tired legs at 60 to 75th minute? Yeah, potentially. I mean, I don't know who is super fast in our attack right now. Brandon Aronson, I guess, is fast, but he's played
most of these few minutes now.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's someone that would be great at doing that. Conrad De La Fuente is the one player that comes to mind. Luca De La Torre is not in this camp, so can't really speak to that. But yeah, it's an opportunity. It's something that Greg's really going to have to kind of evaluate based on what we've done in this camp and see how things can change for next camp.
Definitely,
because changes need to occur. I'm really rooting for Gioacchini to prove himself at Montpellier and show that he deserves another call-up. Yeah, we are too. We thought that was a fantastic move and something that, even though he didn't maybe have the goal production or just, assist production at Con, he definitely showed that he is a higher prospect than that team and kind of where they're at right now. So I think for that reason, that move is completely justified, and I'm really excited. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity. He's going to be someone we cover a lot this year, hopefully getting, a lot of minutes. And yeah, the opportunity's, his right now. He's got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, definitely. I really like Gioacchini and what he offered, right, Austin? Such an impact he made with limited minutes that we recently saw him. And again, yeah, this is a huge step up. I wasn't sure, honestly, with the situation. Would he be toiling away, right, in that, second league there in France, second division? But this is huge, a huge test. And if he proves success there, at the top, I'm really excited. He's such a young talent.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah. Huss says Mourinho is an outdated coach. He's only good at entertaining the folks with his mafia boss behavior. I love it.
Not Roma now.
Yeah. Honestly, it seems like he's just doing, a farewell tour, so to speak. I don't know. Yeah. As much as I love Mourinho, yeah, I wouldn't want to see him in charge of this team Huss also says, guys, if the U.S. has to win the World Cup, 2026 or bust. Not looking so hot right now.
Yeah.
Would it be America's greatest ever sporting win or achievement? Oh, that's a loaded question. I don't know. We're so biased, Pat, right? Like it's easy to say yes.
It's a biased channel. Yeah, there's a lot of it's tough too, right? Especially, a country of our size with all the success we've had in various sports, right? From the Olympics and everything else, right? It's definitely hard to kind of compare, but imagine that happening, right? Also with that 2026 shirt, how much it would bring to the game, new generations down the line, inspiring even more talent. Maybe we get again more kids and youth, shifting over, and I think we're slowly seeing it, right? From even when we started this channel, and back through when we were watching the World Cup in my basement there with the boys, right? How much has kind of changed now to what we can really see in the future. So I think it'd be huge, monumental news and a fantastic achievement. Definitely tough to compare, but within kind of that modern era, you could argue yes.
Yeah, and it's really just overcoming all those challenges of being kind of the lesser sport in America. And if we were able to do it, then yeah, just looking kind of like you said, Pat, looking at where we started and where we got to, yeah, it would be tough not to say that this was a super achievement in America's sporting history.
Right, because the women's team's amazing, right? It's like they're getting criticized for not winning it, right?
Yeah, true.
One day, I would love to be there.
Yeah, and it's honestly such an impressive performance for them too. So yeah, it'd be really cool to see us win the World Cup one day. Man, it seems so far away in this moment, but hey, we keep the belief here. Our young Americans abroad, we always finish every show with one day we'll win the World Cup, and we're not finishing right now. So
take it game by game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Arsenal Footy 420 says probably to that recent comment. So he believes that that would be America's greatest ever sporting achievement. He also says, I'm excited to see Pepe. We are too. We are very excited.
So excited. Predicted, right?
Yeah, T-minus 18 minutes right now. So yeah. So what should we talk about now, Pat? Let's see what we got on our list. Tyler Simone says good vibes.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Tyler.
Shout out to the creator right here, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's our logo. Tyler helped hook us up. So
check him out. Check him out on social media. Yeah, I mean, I think Austin, there's a lot we could talk about, right? I think we're kind of nearing the end. We covered some kind of keys to success, going over the lineup here and how close we're to predictions. But yeah, I think this is a true test. More we're talking about it as we're so close. I'm just excited for game time. I'm excited to hear the crowd, right, in Central America and that loud stadium and us just silencing it. I couldn't be more excited. Forget all the little things in the storylines right now. I just want to see us win. I don't care if it's not, 3 or 4 perfect combination passes. I want to see us throwing guys in the box. I want to see maybe a diving Milo Robinson header, goes halfway through the goal, through the netting, but puts the ball in. I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, right. We got a few more comments now too. Eric says, I can't really see how we win this, to be honest. So I think he's referencing tonight's game. I don't know. I think we got a good chance, right, Pat? We're feeling good right now.
Yeah, I think curious for the lineup. I think we offer. There's so many threats, right, that we've kind of discussed there, and the talent that we have, right. Sure, everyone's kind of the storyline or headline, right, is the USA isn't good enough. The team's not together. This and that, but I think we're going to see a different side here tonight, and then we can come back and talk about it.
Yeah. Huss says he's got my ramen noodles and hot tea ready for the game. Love it. Gotta have that good comfort food.
I like it.
Yeah.
You got a soda or anything, Austin? Anything, for the game here?
Not yet. I'll get my sweets.
Brew.
There you go. Okay. No, I'm a big chocolate man, so I'll probably
Ooh.
grab a little snack before.
Okay. A little Hershey's or M&M or something.
Yeah, honestly, that's yeah, M&M's would probably be what I go with. So
Get that sugar.
um, yeah, we got Kyle's comment here up on the screen. He says Mourinho and Klinsmann both have something in common. They keep getting fired. Only to be hired and fired again. Caleb Porter failed with a talented U23 group. Oh boy, yeah, we went on quite the rant, Pat, didn't we? After that Olympics debacle, Oscar is good with kids and has won everywhere. Yeah, I mean Oscar Pereira has won everywhere, right? He has, been successful in multiple different places. At FC Dallas, Orlando City right now, was at Club Tijuana for a year or two and had some success there. So yeah, he's definitely an option. He's also a dual lingual coach, right? I'm not exactly sure what his heritage is, so I can't really speak to that. But I know he does have some Latin roots and would be a coach that could appeal more to the Latin culture we have within our group here, and yeah, could be a great way to kind of integrate our team a little bit better. So
Right. Yeah, and back to what you said, important, right? We need that motivator. We need somebody that's kind of passionate, right? Defending the team as players, animation on the sideline, right? Just the little things you want to see. Again, obviously, tactics are so important, right? Not overlooking that, but you really do need that motivator because you could have all the tactics in the world, but if you don't have the locker room, it's not going to come to fruition. There's not going to be any execution.
Yeah, and I must say, I made a mistake. So Caleb Porter failed with a talented U23 group. I read that as Jason Kreis. So Caleb Porter's decent coach, won MLS Cup last year. Won it with the Timbers. So he could be a decent option. Jason Kreis, absolutely not. Get him far away from this team.
I don't want to hear that. I don't hear Bruce Arena. I don't hear.
No. Eric says, "Are you Berhalter in or Berhalter out?" Pat.
That's tough. And again, I don't want to be right in the middle of wishy-washy, right? Because again, I guess I am a little more Berhalter out, right? Just since the beginning, like I said, with USSF and that just shady situation. But if he goes out, right, and there's chaos in this next window or something happens, having this coach come in, all these, God, who knows what the plans are, honestly.
Jason Kreis, he would just slide right in, right? He hasn't been fired yet.
I don't want him to be out. Like I just want us to qualify, right? And I think with that qualifying, Berhalter's got it. He's been there for a lot of years now, and I think it would just be complete chaos unless we bring in some magical coach that can motivate everybody. With just limited time left. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I want to watch the world burn, Pat. Berhalter out all the way. No, I don't know. I'm right there with you, right? Like who would replace him? How would that go? Quick turnaround time, right? Like we're in the middle of World Cup qualifying. Yeah. I don't know. It's been tough from the start. I've always felt like Greg Berhalter was not the right choice, and something inside me has always never really been able to come to terms with that. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I feel
Unfortunately, he was given the keys of the car, right? He's been driving, putting a lot of miles on it. I don't want him to just, rolling out of the car and then somebody else experience comes in. Terrible analogy, but you know what I mean, right?
Yes, I think
he's been driving the car for a while. He's had the keys for a while, unfortunately.
Huss says Michael Scott for USMNT coach. I love it. And then he also says, "Going off to watch the game, guys. See you later. Hope the US win." Yeah.
Let's go.
Good luck, buddy. Yeah, enjoy your ramen and tea. We'll be watching along too. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's really no other options right now. Unless we got to wait for the MLS season to end again to hire a new coach, right?
Yeah.
Just like we had to do for Berhalter.
So much to think about us and coaches, everything like that. Who knows? With this result, what if they win 3-4-0? We keep the momentum going. Maybe all this will be forgotten. Probably not.
Let's hope. All right, so we're getting down to the final 10 minutes here, so we'll probably hop off a few minutes before game time. To finish off, if you guys have any more questions, that you want to hear us discuss, and want to give your take on, please send them in the comments now, and we'll look to wrap up here in a few minutes, and hopefully go into the game feeling pumped, ready to go, and watch a good U.S. win tonight, finishing the cycle strong.
Yeah, definitely. Undefeated, Austin, with a win. Undefeated with a win.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of curious too, with kind of our backs against the wall, right? Just really curious to see with this new lineup, how we come out guns a-blazing. And again, I want to see us, like we said, on the forefront, but I want to see some kind of animation, right? Maybe it is frustration, little things like that. And you can criticize Reyna, right, for the pass for things, right?
Yeah.
But I want to see Adams. I want to see people, yelling at each other, talking, constructive, feedback, huddling over, throwing, hey, let's do this, let's do that, like motivate, clap, put your arms up, right? I want to see all of that. And I'd love to see Pulisic give the little give the little shh, right, at the end if he puts on the back of the net tonight.
Yeah, and I really want to see, with so many new players in the team tonight, right? Like, I want to see us communicate better right from the start. I want to see us play together again, kind of like we saw at the start of the Canada game. I thought, again, we came out well and looked like a team to start that game with all these new players, and a lot of them haven't, really trained with the USMNT very much. Some of them have played, I guess, at the Gold Cup, so maybe it's not exactly true, but this is a different environment, right? Like the first game we played against El Salvador, all those players were new to that experience. Well, a lot of players tonight are going to be new to this experience. So have they been watching the last two games and seeing the intensity that, these games are played with, the environment that, was there in El Salvador? That'll probably be somewhat similar tonight in Honduras. Can they take what they learned from those games and, apply it on the field tonight? I really want to see if that's possible. And again, if we start out strong, then hey, that's good sign, and hopefully hopefully we can carry that throughout the game and get the result tonight.
Definitely. And again, side note too, I was just looking, Canada won 3-0 against El Salvador at home. Not a bad start for Canada,
right?
Putting some pressure on, right? So again, with them picking up a win, we got to finish ahead of the standings against Canada, right? I mean, they have some talent, but come on now, we gotta show them, that we're still the kings of CONCACAF after those trophies, Austin.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Shows 4-3-3 on telly. That's what Arsenal Footy 420 says. I don't know how this would be a 4-3-3 unless James Sands slides in the midfield. But even at that, though, then you've got someone playing out of position at right back. So
again, might be one of those adaptive, in certain situations or back. Maybe he's slotting back and kind of playing that strange hybrid. I don't know what you want to call it.
FootMob has it as a like a 3-5-2. They actually have a 5-3-2, but they also have some players out of position, so maybe this isn't too trustworthy. They have John Brooks starting at right wing back and Josh Sargent starting at center midfielder. So not sure that's to be trusted.
Go out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, if it is that what formation, Pat, it would be 3-4-1-2. No, 3-4-1-2. So Christian Pulisic being the one underneath Pepe and Sargent. I really think that that would be really interesting. I really want to see Christian Pulisic in that playmaker role, like we talked about right away on the stream. Should he play in the number 10 position? We may actually see that tonight, and hopefully we'll get shades of last World Cup qualifying cycle. I believe against Honduras, that was the game where we scored 6, right? 6-0. Or is that
I think you're right.
I want to say it was against Honduras because that was a game Deuce scored hat trick, or maybe it was Christian scored the hat trick, but that was a fun game.
Good times like that in a while.
yeah, and that was I remember watching that game and being just so so hyped that we were rolling Honduras then.
Gosh,
And
that'd be nice. A game like that, statement game here tonight.
yeah. So yeah, we'll have to kind of see how it plays out right from the start. Looks like we have one more comment here. Eric says, I'm going to go try and find the game. I'll be back hopefully at halftime and full time if I don't fall asleep. Well, unfortunately, Eric, we will not be streaming throughout the game. Maybe in the future we'll do that. We just don't have the time right now.
Right. Definitely something to look into. And again, maybe Eric, if you're on the East Coast too, we can relate. It's getting a little bit late, but also excited, right? And we'll get that sugar rush, right? That energy, Austin, with some chocolate, whatever, to get us going here in a few minutes. We're close to kickoff.
Yeah, and we're excited to do these live shows a little bit more. This window is really the first time we've done this, so we're trying some things out. We've got some ideas in the works, and we just wanted to try it out and really think that this format for these World Cup qualifiers was the perfect opportunity to do that.
So fun, interactive, right? We get to interact with all of you and can have some lively debates and kind of again go through the highs and lows, right? As a fan base, as a community, so we're all in this together.
That's right. Couldn't have said it better myself, Pat. We're all in this together.
No.
But yeah, I think with that, we're gonna, bring an end to our live stream for tonight. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming out and watching us and interacting with us. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us on all our social media channels. And let's get a W tonight, Pat. Right? Like let's end this international break on a high. Let's put the doubters, to rest, or silence the doubters. Put all these questions to rest, and
all these rumors, this and that. Like Pulisic said, keep the heads up. There's one goal here. Let's just focus one game at a time. And all will be quiet.
Yeah. So, with that, we're gonna sign off now. Go watch the U.S. game and cheer on our boys.
Let's go.
All right. Well, have a good night, guys, and hope to be talking with you soon in a positive manner. All right. See you guys.
Peace.